In part 11 of this series, we continue with the commandments centering on Pesach, Passover, while in part 12 we will continue with the negative mitzvot's theme of idolatry and our attitude toward those who would entice others into idolatrous practices. The positive commandment, to tell about the exodus out of Egypt to others. Shemot, Exodus, chapter 13, verse 8 tells us, "And you shall tell your son on that day, saying, It is because of this that Hashem acted on my behalf when I left Egypt." The fascinating thing about this verse is how personal it makes the telling. We are to retell the story of Passover as if we ourselves were there, as provided by the words, "Hashem acted on my behalf when I left Egypt." Not only is it to be a personal telling each year, but also a national retelling of the events that took place over 3 millennia ago. This is not a story just in antiquity, but one in which we, the Jewish people, are intrinsically tied to it in every generation. Because not only were you and I redeemed on that day, but the entire nation was created on that very day. Therefore, it is our obligation as the beneficiaries of that deliverance to ensure its story is passed down to every generation forever. The positive commandment, to rest and do no work on the first day of Pesach. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation for you. You shall do no laborious work. Vayikra, Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 7. This mitzvot doesn't include the preparation of the meal for the Passover Seder. However, any work done that is not related to the preparing of food for the festival is strictly forbidden on this first day of Pesach. Also, if the prep for food requires the kindling of a fire and carrying items for the meal into and out of a public space, then this too is allowed on the first day. For those living outside of the land of Israel, this commandment is in force for the first and second day of Pesach. The positive commandment, rest from work on the 7th day of Pesach. Vayikra 23 verse 8 states that, "You shall bring a fire offering to Hashem for a 7-day period. On the 7th day shall be a holy assembly. You shall do no laborious work." As long as the Beit HaMikdash is not standing, we are unable to fulfill the fire offering portion of the commandment. However, the no laborious work mitzvot is still very much in force, and is to be enforced in the same way that the first day of Pesach is done. Thank you so much for continuing with us on this series of the commandments of Torah. Following the mitzvot of Hashem brings great joy and life to our everyday study and living in this world. Please like, subscribe, and share with others. Find me on Rumble, Locals, YouTube, Substack, and Blogger, or email me to shmu@startmail.com. Also, you can leave comments below. Until next time, this is Shmuel ben Shlomi of Shmu's Views, wishing you Shalom.